Hello everyone, this is Kim with Abundant Life Tarot, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about my death year for 2020 that I'm embarking on. I know some of you have expressed that you will also be embarking on this journey, and I wanted to kind of keep a rolling vlog, so to speak, of my thoughts and my plans and my experiences as this unfolds for me. I'm really excited about this because my deck collection is at a point where I'm like, I don't want to continue to accumulate more. I actually just want to enjoy the decks that I have and pass on the ones that I feel I'm called to share with the world. So I decided to kind of think about how this is going to look and some ground rules that I'm going to set for myself. I already keep a spreadsheet of deck purchases that I make throughout, like whenever I make a purchase, I always put it on the spreadsheet, or I have a tab for pre-orders, I have a tab for my wish list, I have a tab for Oracle's decks and Lenormand's. So I already have an idea of how much I spend per year on decks. Actually, I have a very clear idea. I'm also going to track the decks that I love and want to have or wish I could have purchased in 2020. I'll have those on my wish list as decks come up. So that way I can look and see, like, okay, decks that I was really loving, I might, revisit at some point and get in the future. Or I will just be able to see how much that deck costs and how much I saved. So it'll be able to help me quantify that in terms of my deck purchases. I'm not going to do that for the other items I plan to ban for myself. But primarily the deck purchases is why I'm doing this depth year. But I started thinking about other areas of my life that could really benefit from me really appreciating what I already have. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So the banned items that I have on my list. So my 2020 depth year involves decks, books, clothes, a separate category for shoes and purses, and then finally crystals. So the rules for my decks are as follows. Number 1, I will not purchase new decks. Number 2, pre-orders from 2019 are okay, obviously, because I've already ordered them. Number 3, trades are okay, provided that I have sold or given away some decks in its place. So I can't just be, trading and keeping the same amount. I'm trying to downsize my collection if I can. So trades are okay, but I really need to also make sure that I sell or give away a deck as well. Number 4, accepting gifts are okay, provided I have sold or given away a deck in its place. Pretty self-explanatory. And number 5, it's okay to add decks to my wish list, because maybe in the future I may get, to purchase this deck in the future. Well, who knows? And it's just nice to see how much those decks would have cost me. And I also will include a column for shipping costs. You want to know the whole investment of that I'm saving on. And you don't have to do a full-on spreadsheet if you're doing a depth year. I just already track these things on spreadsheets, but you could just use the notepad and pen, but I find spreadsheets are very helpful in this way. My rules for books are quite similar to decks. There's some caveats. Number 1, same thing. Slightly same thing. I will not purchase new physical books. I have quite a library now of books that I've collected, and even we've given some books away, and I still have quite a few that I want to really read and enjoy, and I've already started reading a book, and I'm actually like, ooh, I need to get back to reading again. I'm enjoying it. And number 2, I will use the library when I come across books that I really want to read. And what's cool about the library is you can request books to be ordered, they will order books for you if they don't have it, already in the library system at one of the nearby libraries, in the county or what have you. And also at the library, they have digital versions of books, whether it's audiobook, whether it's on my Nook, or if you have a Kindle, or maybe I say audio. So all these different digital ways to consume your book, they have it too. So if there's a book that I really, really have to have, my first option has to be going to the library and trying to get it that way. And what's cool also about the library, or at least the libraries around me, is that I can check out books or renew the books 3 times before I have to return it. And that's great. I'm not adding to my book collection, and I'm keeping the libraries going, and I'm getting to enjoy books as they come up. Let's see, number 3, if I must get a book, it would, digital only. Most books now are in some form of digital version, whether it's audiobook, whether it's a, Kindle or Nook version, where you can read it on an e-reader. There's just different ways to be able to get your book. So if I have to have a book, then it needs to be digital. Number 4, accepting gifts are okay, provided I sell or give away a book in its place. And number 5, trades are okay, provided I give or sell a book in its place. So that's pretty similar to my rules for decks. Rules for clothes. Number 1, no new clothes purchases. Number 2, tailoring my clothes is okay. Number 3, gifts are okay, provided I have sold or donated an article of clothing in its place. Number 4, I want to downsize my wardrobe by 25% in 2020. And number 5, if a purchase is necessary, say it's work-related or business-related, I need to sell or give away a piece of clothing in its place. Very straightforward rules, and so I'm looking forward to reducing my wardrobe. I did get rid of some clothes over this past year, but not enough, and my tastes have evolved yet again. So, I'm looking forward to downsizing my wardrobe. And then rules for shoes and purses are similar. Number 1, no new shoes or purse purchases. Number 2, shoe repair and maintenance are okay. I love taking my nice boots to cobblers for repairs and for just regular maintenance every other year for my boots, sometimes yearly if I use them quite a bit throughout the winter season. So I allow myself to have that luxury, if you will. Number 3, gifts are okay, provided I have sold or given away a pair or a purse in its place. Number 4, downsize my shoe and purse collection by 25%. And number 5, if a purchase is necessary, like I mentioned before, with the clothes, business or work related, I need to sell or give away a pair or a purse in its place. And finally, rules for my crystals. Number 1, no new crystal purchases for myself in 2020. And number 2, crystal purchases will be for giveaways or gifts for others. Those will be okay. Those will be fine. So if I do giveaways, I will want to have crystals to include. That's part of the giveaway I love to do. And if, like I said, I like to also give them as gifts to people, crystals. So those will be okay. I can purchase for others, but they need to actually make their way to others. They have to have a specific purpose, or I'm just not going to get it. Number 3, if a crystal purchase is necessary, say for my healing practice or my business, I must give away or sell a crystal in its place. And I have some pieces that are kind of duplicate of others. So that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing to do for me. And it wouldn't be so difficult to do because if I have a similar stone like it, then why not share it? Number 4, gifts of crystals to me are okay. I will accept gifts. And I will not feel the need to have to sell or give away. I didn't put that there because crystal, my crystal footprint, yeah, they're all kind of sprinkled throughout my house, but they're not as big of a footprint as my decks or books are in clothes. Number 5, it's okay to create and add to a crystal wish list. And I realized I have a wish list for my decks, but I don't have a wish list for my crystals. And maybe it's time to start one. So I'm going to do that every time I identify a crystal that I, may benefit from, or that I think someone will benefit from. I'm going to create a spreadsheet where I'm keeping track of that information as well. So I was excited about that. That was kind of like a little surprise little thing that came from me making my ground rules for my 2020 depth year. So this depth year is not just going to be for me about decks, but it's also going to be about clothes and my wardrobe. And there was other items I could have added, like certain paper items or stationery, but I'm not going to do that this time around. I think that I've got a good healthy list though of the items that are banned from my purchases, and I've got a plan in action, or we'll see how it does in action, but I have a plan in place to help me navigate my newfound 2020 depth year. So I will keep you all posted on how that progresses, how this is working out for me. And I'm going to definitely want to hear from you on how your 2020 depth year is going. What items have you considered banning for purchases, or what kind of ground rules or, tips can you suggest, or that you plan on using for yourself, or that you suggest for others or for me on what to do. I've been watching some videos and getting some great ideas on how to really maximize on my experience. And like I said, I'm super excited about this journey. At first I was a little apprehensive, but the more I started thinking about it, the more I started getting excited, and really just already starting to have deeper connections with the decks that I have, and already starting to really, with a critical eye, be like, I don't think you need to be in my collection right now. And I don't feel this. I was expecting to feel this sense of panic that I needed to go out and buy all these decks and get them going in my collection. And yet I did get a few, like in November, I believe, but all of those I've been using almost every day, and that tells me that they were meant for my collection. And now in December, things have slowed down in purchases, and I just am excited about it. I'm excited about the journey. So I don't want this to be a super long video, because this is just kind of a ground rules for me for my depth year that I can kind of consult and look back on when I start to falter, so to speak. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. So much love and many blessings to each and every one of you. Oh, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you wish to check out more videos from me. And if you are feeling this video, hit the like button. All right, guys, so much love and many blessings. Bye.